Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, hold up. I need to put on my microphone. I am so sorry, y'all. I know y'all can probably hear me, but it's better if I put the microphone in. I was chatting with backstage before we got on. I forgot to put my microphone on. Welcome, 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 welcome back to the Curse Stops Here Conversations with Katrice. That's me. And I'm excited to be here tonight. I am so excited that you are tuning in. I have a bunch of really cool announcements for you. Good evening, Pastor Lydia. Thank you for tuning in. As you're coming in, let me know where you are watching me from and just say hi so that we know you are here. So tonight, the conversations that we are going to have, my special guest tonight is someone very dear to me. And so we will be having conversations tonight with Yvette Owens. She is an international best-selling author. She is the CEO and founder of Destiny Speak Inc. She's a coach, a speaker, a minister, a trainer, a teacher, a mom, a sister. Oh my God, I could go on. The list could go on and on and on. An awesome worship leader. And so tonight we are going to have a conversation with her. But before we begin, I am glad that you are here. Hello, Facebook user. I don't know your name, but whoever you are, hello and welcome. Thanks for watching us from Wake Forest, North Carolina, Pastor Lydia. Yes. So share you if you are trying to share this with someone who is not a member of the Curse Stops Here or the Family Bible Study Facebook group that I have, they will not be able to see it unless we let them in. So tag me and let me know that you're trying to let them in, somebody in, because I have to approve it. They have to be a member of those pages. Those are private. These are private Facebook groups, and these are special conversations that we are bringing just for our members. Okay, so if that is you, hi Pat, how are you? Yes, I'm glad you're tuning in from New Jersey. Yes. And so if that is you and you would like your friends to tune in, please make sure you get them to like the Facebook page so that they can be approved as a member. So going forward, I just want to share some exciting stuff that's been happening in my life. God is so good. I don't know if you all have seen the post that I put up about the WHYY TV competition they have. It's a gospel competition called Lifting Voices in Praise. And I actually made it to the semifinals. And that was so exciting because I didn't expect to do that. And God is so good. He's just doing some great things. So I went down to the studio. I had to actually record. They taped us for the semifinals. You can see it at the link below. WHYY Lifting Voices in Praise semifinals. I actually ministered on day 2. I hate to say performing because it's not that for me. Whenever I get a chance to open my mouth and praise unto God, it is ministering unto him and offering him everything that I have. And so I ministered on day 2. But you can watch both days. It was a 2-day taping. You can watch both days. And so you can see all of the other contestants and what the judges had to say and the comments, and you can get an idea. I don't know who made it to the finals yet, but the finals will be they're actually in person, and you get to come. You can, when you go to this website, you'll be able to order your tickets as well. I believe it's free. Don't make me lie. I don't know because I haven't tried to get my tickets yet. Trying to find out how many people would like to come with me. So if you go to the website, WHYY TV, Lifting Voices in Praise semifinals, all of the information is there. They'll tell you about the tickets, and you can watch both days of the taping. It was fun, and I'm excited about what God is doing in that area of my life. Also, I was blessed to, on my birthday, release ordained the the deluxe edition. Excuse me. You can get it on all digital downloads. It's everywhere. You can stream me on Spotify. So listen, y'all, trying to get my Spotify account up. So if you don't mind going to Spotify, you can just put my name in, Katrice Cornett, and Highest Praise and Katrice Cornett, and just follow us and subscribe to our pages on Spotify. Um, you could stream it there. You could download it there if you are a member of Spotify. I don't know if they let you download if you have a free account, but you can at least listen to the whole project there. And it's ordained the deluxe edition. I'm excited about that. Let's see what else we got going on. Oh, I am now an international best-selling author. I was blessed to be, and we're going to talk about that tonight too. I was blessed to be in the part of the anthology that my sister Yvette Owens did called The Creators Leadership. And it's a group of us who got together. We all had to write a chapter. And you can get this book on my website at Katrice Cornett Ministries.org / when you go there, you just click on my store and you can purchase there. You can get it at Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. It's everywhere. But you want to go to my website and get it. Okay. And you can get it right there. All the information you need to purchase it is right there. You can link it and then I'll mail it right out to you. I'll sign it and everything. So I'm excited about that. Let's see what else has happened. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. So I have this worship conference coming up October the 28th. It's all day. It starts at 10 a.m. We end at 2 p.m. And it is a workshop, a worship workshop that is going to focus on the power of prophetic worship and intercessory prayer. We are also going to do dance and flag ministry and American Sign Language. It's going to be hosted in Vineland, New Jersey at Cornerstone Community Church. All the information is on the David's Tent Facebook page. So those of you who follow me and those of you who are part of these groups, you know what I'm talking about. So David's Tent is coming up. We'll start actually doing our annual services where we go around from month to month in the beginning of next year. But for those of you who already are familiar with David's Tent, it is a totally free event that we do once a year where we come together and we just sing love songs to Jesus. We do intercessory prayer for our state and our region. We actually have Bible reading and we read the scriptures and we just come together and our focus is Jesus Christ and him alone. And so we do that once a year, but it is all free for participants and for attendees. So throughout the year, we do things to raise money because, you know, in order to put these events on, you have to have funds, you have to have insurance, you have to have certain things in place. So this is the first time we've actually ever did a workshop for that. We usually just do services throughout the year, but we're going to kick this one off this year with a workshop. And we hope you plan to attend. The registration and all of those things can be done on my site. Again, you can go right there to Katrice Cornett Ministries.org, and there's a tab that says Worship Workshop, and you can register right there. And you just come on in. We will be having a full service at the end of the workshop classes. And so I'm looking to have a great time doing that as well. So I think that's all I have for you right now. Without further, let's see who else is here. Hi, Donna. Donna's watching us from Kentucky, but I'm going to bring Yvette on so she can greet some of these people as well. So hi, Yvette. How are you?
Hey, hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? What is up tonight?
Yes. Hey. Hi, Elaine. She's watching us from New Jersey as well. So we are excited that you guys are here tonight. For those of you who don't know, Yvette has gotten the tag name, the business ambassador, and now she's even being called the changeologist because of what she does in corporate America and what her business does and how it is designed to reshape your thinking as a leader. You know, the thing that I like about Yvette's business and the way she is, and she's been this way her whole entire life, is she wants to start where the problems are. She goes right for the gusto, right for the jugular. So she starts right at the top. So I'm not going to I'm allow her to explain who she is to you, but we're going to get into a lot of things. I have some great questions for her. And for those of you who don't know, she is my real born blood sister, and I love her with my whole heart. And so it's just a pleasure to be able to do business together and
Yeah.
ministry together. It's an awesome blessing. I have learned so much from her. And so I'm just going to give her the floor now and she can introduce herself to you, and then we'll just get into the conversation.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for Katrice for inviting me to this amazing platform. I'm so glad to be here. And I am grateful to our Heavenly Father for allowing us to do business together, to do life together, to just be
Yes.
real together. You can't, there's nothing in greater than this. So it's so amazing. I am a speaker. I'm an author. I'm an international best-selling author. I'm a leadership coach and consultant. And I specialize in helping leaders. I teach them the principles of agile change leadership. And you might say, what's the difference between that and normal leadership? Hey, Pastor Lydia, um, leadership, we've seen it in the past and we've seen different models, but it's pretty much been the same, right? You get somebody who's in charge. They think they can tell you what to do. They give you your assignment and you go about doing it. When you talk about agile change leadership, it's really more about really getting in there, getting rallying people around the table so that they can collaborate better. You can be as transformative as possible, and you're willing to hear what they have to say, especially if it's resistance. Because sometimes, in the traditional sense of leadership, it's like anybody resisting is like, okay, they're out, get them out, send them off, but no, there's gold nuggets in that resistance that will prevent us from making a pitfalls, falling into a pitfall or just going astray, or better yet, not meeting the real needs of the client in the marketplace. When you have people who are on the front line talking to and working with your direct customers and clients, or even if you're in ministry, you have people on the front line ministering to the people in your churches and your ministry, and they come back and say, hey, I know you wanted to do this, but this is what they're really asking for. No business can remain in business if you're not giving people what they want. Now, we have to balance that with what do they need, right? Because some people don't necessarily know what they need. They only know what they want. So our job as leaders is to make sure that we find out what they want and what they need and package it all together so they're getting what they want, but at the same time what they need, right?
Yeah.
And then they're coming back for more. So agile change leadership talks about all those things, how we come to the table, how we bring more people to the table. So as the organization grows, the people who you invite to come alongside you are also growing, and therefore you're not afraid of change. Actually, you're expecting change. You're hoping for change, because change is now the catalyst for greatness, right? Because I think after 2019, we all know the world has changed and is continuing to evolve.
Yes.
The faster you can evolve with it, it's not something to be afraid of, but it's something to just get in the movement and figure out how you're going to respond to it in your organization. And it doesn't have to look the same as every other organization. You just want to make sure you have a place and a way to do that and create an environment where everybody can have a voice.
Yeah. I remember when you started your business, Destiny Speak, and I thought that the name of your business was very, very cool. I like the way you wrote it out, not like, Destiny Speaks, people want to put an S on it and people Destinies Speak, but no, it's Destiny Speak. And so tell us a little bit about why you came up with that name and what that means to you and your company.
Yeah, it was given to me by God. So, but everyone has a destiny, and it has to be amplified. It has to come out. It has to be released. And especially in organizations, right? We think about the vision, but a lot of times it's the visionaries that know about the vision, but the people who are helping to make it work don't really know about
Yeah.
it. So they can't really support it as well as they could. They know, this is my assignment. This is what you hired me to do. This is what I'm going to do. And they don't really know how it traces back up to what the visionary said. So if your destiny for your organization is speaking loudly, now I give people who join my organization the ability to align their destiny with the destiny of the organization. And you can't ask for a better situation, because now I know that as I'm helping you become, I'm also going to have opportunities to become, expand where I need to expand, grow where I want to grow, get experience that I couldn't get anywhere else. And
Mhm.
when we as leaders look for that, you have to talk to your people though, and know what they want, where they want to grow, what they want to be when they grow up, right? Why
Yeah.
did they join an
Yeah.
organization? And not look at people from the perspective, I hired you as an accountant, that's all I expect you to do. Can I tell you that there's more packaged in that accountant? There's more
Yeah,
gifting
that's
and
good.
talent in that accountant than what you hired them for. You may
That's
have
good.
had a need for an accountant and you may have hired them for that, but there's so much more. And if you don't uncover that and help them grow in that, and help them, give them the opportunity to utilize that in your organization, they'll go and do it someplace else.
Yeah.
And you
One of
may end up losing not only the accountant, but all the other gifts that you didn't know about.
Yeah, yeah. One of the conversations I was having a couple weeks ago with one of my friends was about the climate in the business in uh I guess population nowadays with the our age versus the millennials. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have a problem with leaving if you ain't treating them right. They do not have a problem with leaving. First of all, telling you that you ain't treating them right, leaving and going to find another job, or doing whatever they have to do. They want to be in a good space in every area of their lives. So when they
Right.
go to work, they want to feel valued. They want to feel comfortable. They're not going like with us, we just put up with it because I don't know why now that I know what I know, but you put up with it because it's like you need a job, you got to feed your family, you got to pay your bills. So you would take certain kind of abuse, I guess, lack of better term, from your employer because you didn't know what you were going to do without that job. But there's a different level of confidence in this age group that's coming up now, that's in corporate America now, that allows them to be more vocal, like you said, speaking it out, what they need and what they want. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I like to say it this way: there's a higher degree of consciousness
Mm-hmm.
and it's integrity in their consciousness. So I've done tons and tons of interviewing for new people coming into the organization that I was a part of before retiring. And I stopped saying retiring before stepping into my purpose, full
Yes,
time
yes, your
purpose,
next journey, your next
because
journey.
retiring has not been a part of that.
It's not, it is not.
Yeah, so they come in and they say, when you say, so what attracted you to this position? They say, well, this is where I want to go. And this is a step towards where I want to go. Now,
Mhm.
before, to your point, we would never say, oh, I'm looking to move on,
Right,
because
no
somebody would,
way.
because they would, the people who were hiring were like, well, wait, I'm hiring you for this position. And they
Mhm.
weren't as open for you to say, oh, no, this is just a stepping stone.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know? And
absolutely.
so so now when you're hiring, and you're in that position, now you have to say, is this talent and is this talent good enough and substantial enough for me to bring them in, knowing that I have the ability to help them get to the next place? And you create a friend. You can also create it's an opportunity where you can show your skill set and growing someone to the next level, opening opportunities for them. Because when you do it for one, they'll say, hey, you need to join there, because they're not afraid of hearing what your vision is. And as long as it's aligning with their vision, they're going to help you and find opportunities for you to grow. Now, you have to balance that with the ones who say, yeah, I'm only probably thinking like the question would be, well, where do you want to be in the next 3 years? Well, I want to be VP, and they're hiring for a director position. That means they're not going to be with you too long. And you really don't have the time to grow into, so into them, if you will. So it's all that balance and everything. But yeah, it's a greater consciousness. And to the point that they're even looking at how organizations spend and invest their money. I've had a lot of them say, no, I believe in animal rights. And so I know that this company is supporting this other company that is destroying these types of animals. So I'm not joining that organization. Or bigger yet, how organizations handled the whole COVID thing. There were a lot of millennials and folks of that age group that were leaving organizations depending on how the organization they were in was treating and handling the COVID situation. So they have a greater sense of social consciousness. And they're willing to use it, exercise it to get to the right place.
We have a statement from Pastor Lydia. Same thing happens in the church. We try to box people into positions or ministries, but ushers, deacons, missionaries, choir directors, youth leaders have many other gifts that are needed in God's kingdom. It's bigger than the church. That is good. That's good. That is so true.
And how about this? We also try to keep them inside the church.
Yeah, inside the church.
We've been told to go into all the world.
That's what the word says.
And teach, right? And preach.
Hello.
So it's like when they come in and are like, well, can I go over here or can I go over there? Instead of us preparing them for that evangelistic type work, or however, it might not sound to them like evangelism, but that's really what they're doing.
That's what it is.
There's a need out here. I want to go serve this population. Instead of us preparing them for that, we want to hold them close. No, you need to do the work in here.
Yeah.
Well, there's some people that will do the work in here and they're very comfortable, but there are a lot of them that will be drawn to your ministry because they see the work you're doing in the community.
Right.
Because they don't want to just touch the people in the four walls. Not that they're saying that's bad, but they see all the tremendous need in the community and they want to go serve.
Yeah.
And we need to better provide for them, train them, and support them so they'll keep coming back for the training. They'll keep coming back for the support because they still need the word to be able to minister out there.
And what I find is when you invest in people, they stay with you longer. Because they know that you believe in them, who they are as a person and what God has created them to be. So you keep pushing them to be better and training them and teaching them, and they're not going to leave you. And if they do, then it was everything is a season. God works in seasons, y'all. You know what I mean? So it's like, there are some people that are there for a lifetime, some people that are there for a season, some people that are there for maybe just an issue or a project or whatever. And we have to come to grips with that, everybody is not to be held on to, you know what I'm saying? So, and if you're not, first of all, tapped into the source, which is God Almighty, sometimes it's hard to see, why that person was even placed in your life. Right. And so then you're trying to figure it out on a whole nother plane when all you had to do was ask God, and he'll show you that that person wasn't supposed to be with you for 50 years, and you're stifling that person from even doing what God has called them to do. And I'm talking across the plane. This is business in corporate America.
Yeah.
and in the church. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You have,
What
yeah,
better story is it to have someone say, "Hey, I used to be in that organization and this is all the things that I gleaned from
yeah,
this. Here's this great leader that I worked with. I would recommend anybody to work with
yeah.
them because they prepared me for my next."
Yup. Yup. Absolutely.
Right? They prepared me for my next. And so that's
Oh,
where
that's
we
good.
need to be able to, and you're right on. It's not only in ministry, but it's in corporate too. I'm not
Yes.
going to be afraid to, I will do myself a disservice as an organization and a leader, as well as that individual, if I don't help them get where they need to be. Now, this
Hmm.
is also in the case where if they've landed with me and it's not really working really well, instead of discarding someone, there is the right place for them somewhere.
Somewhere.
You
Help them
could
find
create
it.
another positive relationship and a positive story, and we're all about branding, and you can create another
Yup.
branding success if you can help that person figure out where they should be,
Exactly.
and they look back and say, "Thank you so much for
Hmm.
not only telling me the truth, but also helping me to see the steps I need to get to that truth."
Yeah, yeah. I think this is Elaine. She says churches need a succession planning just like corporate America. I agree 100%. 100%.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, and I hope I don't cause you any trouble, but
Say it. That's why
and
we're
it
here.
needs to
These
be
conversations are,
beyond, and it needs to be beyond the pastor's family.
yeah.
You have daughters and sons in that ministry. What's the succession plan for everyone in that ministry,
Yeah.
every leader in that ministry? And
Yeah.
I get it that you've invested all this time, this dollars, this money, your life in what this ministry is.
Hmm.
And your children are being raised and all that kind of stuff, and they've been walking this walk with you. I get it. There are also those spiritual daughters and sons that need to be prepared for what that succession plan is. And it might not be to take over your ministry, and that's probably cool, but they need a succession plan as well.
Yeah.
So that, and if we think kingdom,
Yeah.
not
That's
church.
it.
Think kingdom, not church.
That's right.
And then we'll do so much greater. There's 7 mountains we're all supposed to be going to.
That's
One of
right.
them mountains, at least
That's right.
one.
At least one. So
How are you?
let's talk a little bit about conquering corporate enemies and no bosses allowed. Now, let me tell y'all this. I absolutely love these topics. The subject line. These are Yvette's books. They are available at destinyspeak.com, which is her website. You can go get them. And when I like no bosses allowed was right up my alley because I'm like, yeah, we don't want you guys. We don't need you. We're running the like because I am by profession in the business world. I was a secretary, office manager, so I really know who runs the company. Like it's us. You know what I mean? Like we're doing it. We're in there. We're grunting like the secretaries. They know everybody. They know what to do. They know how the company runs. So I'm like, okay, y'all think y'all the boss. We don't really need y'all, right? So I really love that title. So let's talk a little bit about what created the what made you want to write these books and what's the story behind them.
So, Conquering Corporate Enemies, Mind, Personality Situations is that first book, and it has a workbook along with it. It's actually, it was actually the healing platform for me coming out of all that I've been through in corporate. And I'm telling the story. It's partly a memoir, as also partly a story, this recounting the situations that some of my mentees, some of my clients have gone through. And it really just talks about all the things that have really caused trauma in
Yeah.
the lives of people in corporate America. Now, I state in the beginning of the book, corporate to me is not just Fortune 500 organizations, but even though that's where I spent my career, 43 years, but it's also anytime you get a group of people together
Mm-hmm.
and trying to fulfill a vision. So I do address some. Um, there's some ministry stuff in there too, but very light because I kept it on the corporate scene. And it talks about how there is even a spirit within corporate
Mm-hmm.
itself, that if you're not prepared for, you could really get hurt by and traumatized by or get sucked up in
Mm-hmm.
and don't
Mm-hmm.
realize that you're losing your identity, which is why I really applaud the millennials who come in and say, yeah, I know who I am, this is what I want to do,
Yeah.
and you give it to me, okay, not I'll go find it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because to your point, we came out of college, we went into work, and we were like, thank you for this job, and we were trying to hold on it till we retired, right?
Mm-hmm.
um Doing that though, there was a time when you could potentially trust your leadership, to really invest in you. And I
Yeah.
remember the time when things changed in corporate where it was basically like they just very minimal guidance and stuff, and you were more responsible for your own development,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to having a leader say, here's where do you want to go, here's where I see your strengths, okay, let me see if I can find opportunities for you to do that. It became really so that it was for this 9 block, these top echelon people,
Yes.
and
Yes.
everybody else had to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Um so so concrete corporate enemies talks about there's those things in the structure and confounds of corporate itself. Every culture, every type of entity has a culture. So that entity of corporate has a spiritual culture that you have to be aware of and
Mm-hmm.
figure out how to navigate it well, or figure out how to create your own and leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that recounts all those. I was at a time when I had gone through my career, and I always said I wanted to leave as a vice president at the least. Um, I was asked by a friend to um, to apply for her position because she was retiring. I did. So I was like, okay, God, because I didn't go after this. This came to me. So this must be, this must be you. And it was actually in the area that I first started my career. So these
Mm-hmm.
were people not in the same company, but it was in that type of arena. Um, and so the leaders were very welcoming to even consider me because I knew their business. I knew what could happen, and stuff. Went through the whole thing, and found out that at the end of the day, they decided to pull the position.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, hold up. Like, God, tell me what's going on, because I didn't go after this. You knew my heart. You knew that I wanted to
Yeah.
be in that position before I retire. And I walked away with this. Even though he knew I wanted that, it's not what he wanted for me, but he
Yeah.
needed me to know that I could have it if he wanted me to have it.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Because sometimes we could walk away feeling like, oh, I wasn't good enough. I couldn't have never gotten to that. Like, he needed me to know you could have gotten to that level. Because again, I didn't go after that. They
Yeah.
came after me. Um, but it wasn't his desire for me. And
Yeah.
that's how I reconciled that within myself. And then there's the things that I've helped other people with, some things that, having a leader or somebody who wants to be your mentor, but as your mentor, they're suffering, they're in trauma, they're not in a good
Yeah.
position. And then
Yeah.
I had to like one say, I'm not meeting with you again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when you leave somebody and you feel dirtier or you feel down or you feel that,
Worse than when you, yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's not worth it.
Yeah.
Or those, you see people who come to me, and I've mentored or coached because, like, when young lady was being I'll say harassed, but the people in her leadership and her teams were telling her that she was too joyful, and she was just too happy,
Wow.
and it's like, really, is that what we're doing?
Yeah. How can you be
or
too
or
happy?
people or not, some other young ladies, needing to talk it out because people were talking about how she wore her hair. And I
Mm-hmm.
get it, because when I first went to locks, I had another woman of color say to me, you just committed career suicide.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not coming just from people who we think are our enemies.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming, and that's why I say it's a spirit thing that's trying to drive. And I was
Yeah.
sharing this with Prophet Chris. I was sharing this
Yeah.
with Prophet Chris the other day, and it's like, it's constant. Like, you come in and you can be very confident, and it's like year over year, day over day, trying to
Yeah. Yeah.
assimilate you into their culture, so you all sound alike, so you all
Yeah.
think alike. And we've lost so much in authenticity
Mm-hmm.
in approaching that. And then
Yeah.
No Boss is Allowed was really a contrast and a compare to, here's what a boss does, but here's what a leader does. And I
Okay.
know it's really famous for people to say, hey, I'm the boss lady and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of people are leaving bosses and they're looking for leaders. So do we really
Yeah.
want to be saying, owning that title, I'm the boss lady, or I'm
Yeah,
the
that's
boss,
good. That's good.
So it really shows, like, once the first section is about individuals matter. So if I don't care about you, the community that you're living in, I don't even know you. I've heard stories of people being on a team and nobody ever asked this gentleman who he was, anything about his family, anything about his community
Wow.
for
Wow.
12 years. He worked with
12
them,
years?
and nobody ever cared to ask him about who he was and
Wow.
what he does or anything like that. So individuals matter, and it's up to us as the leader to
To
make
make
sure they know
sure.
they matter.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's
and if
good.
we don't think we matter, then we treat other people the same way that we're being treated.
That's true.
But a
That's
strong
true.
leader will treat people better than what they're being treated, to show that they're the greater leader.
Hmm. So as we come to, this has been a great conversation. I absolutely love it. You guys, I'm learning stuff too. Wow. I mean, I know I talk to her all the time, but we don't really talk about this kind of stuff. I know what she does and how effective it is. But if you want to follow Yvette and you want to get some of her nuggets and you want to be able to glean from her, I encourage you to join her Lead with Soul Facebook community. You can do that by going to Facebook. It's on Facebook. You go to the Lead with Soul Facebook community, you request to join. After you do that, then someone will reach out to you with an email on how you can do that. It is a paid membership group. It's paid monthly, but I'll tell you, it's worth it. The reason why I'm doing conversations with Katrice is because I'm a member of this group. I do these every now and then, but I would do them sporadically. But being a member of this group, is leaders in there, and we're all leaders in our own right in what God has established us to do, business owners, entrepreneurs. And what we do is we bounce stuff off of each other. And one of the taglines that we have is stop flying solo. You do not have to do this thing by yourself. So when we have issues, we are vulnerable, we're transparent in there. And it really has helped me to grow, to be bold enough to step out and say, I have something to talk about. And I guess people, and I believe that there's some people out there that I can help. So I started conversations with Katrice. And we are going up until November, but I'm gonna let Yvette explain to you a little bit more about Lead with Soul. It is a great community. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So Lead with Soul is really a movement, where I want to bring leaders together who are willing and able to be a leader who looks different than traditional leadership, sounds different than traditional leadership, and leaves people feeling different than traditional leadership. So that means we have to be more vulnerable, we have to be more transparent, we have to be more authentic, and we have to be willing to talk about all issues and challenge ourselves. Because if we're not growing, the people we're leading aren't growing. And
Hmm.
that's where people get intimidated, where you have somebody come on your team and say, hey, this is where I'm going. This is what I'd like to learn. And then we're like, I have no idea how to even spell that.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
and so we just like, start to like push them away, as opposed to say, okay, well, if for whatever reason they've been brought to me and they're serving what I need to do to grow my vision, then let me learn a little bit about that and figure out how I can help that person,
Yeah.
um, or be even better. So the leaders in this group, we're talking about not only how can we expand and release our voices so that people understand who great leaders are, but also we're talking about very practical business things like on October 5th, we're having a live session around planning for 2024. What are the activities, meaningful activities that we want to have for 2024? How is it going to help us to push our goal further? How are we going to execute those? Who do we need and who do the resources are? So we talk about very practical things, how to save time. There's a member in our group who, and we've been talking, and he shared, I'm actually in his fitness group, and he shared with the fitness team that being in this group literally saved him 5 hours a week.
Yeah.
Um, just how we've been able to just share things and caused him to rethink. We're
Yeah.
sharing resources that we're listening to, other great leaders, and it's just building us up and keeping us. And when you come with an authentic, integral heart for leadership, and you're in a space where there's not a lot of that, or it's frowned upon, you
Yeah.
need to be in a community where there's other people who value the same
Yeah.
type of things that you do. And then you're not afraid to
To
go out
do
and
them.
release your
Yep.
voice. You're not afraid to lead your team the way you know you need to lead them,
Hmm.
because I'm not a lone soldier. And too many leaders think they're all by themselves, and they are all by themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. So we thank you tonight for tuning in. I just want to encourage you guys, and she gives us challenges. I still have to finish a couple on the first challenge that we had, but it's no, what's the word I'm looking for? Negative talk, no, none of that stuff in the group. No, it's a real serious group of people who love what they do, entrepreneurs, business owners, who are leaders in their own respective rights, and they love leading people, and they have a heart for people, and that's what I like about it. And we actually do. I've learned so much. um I've actually been freed from a lot of things because some of the challenges cause you to really think about who you are, and what you're doing and stuff like that. And there's a lot of things that I've learned from just reading the posts and stuff that the other leaders put up. It's very encouraging.
And let me just share with there's possibilities. There's a magazine, and there's ways that you can. We're going to be releasing a magazine, and so if you're a part of that community, you can get featured in that magazine. There's opportunities for you to do that. There's opportunities to speak to the whole
Yeah.
organization in that platform. We've like the anthology that we just released.
Yeah.
There'll be more anthologies and things like that. We'll encourage you to write your book. How
Yeah.
about that? And get
Yep.
that done. Um, and those projects. And so there's so many benefits to being a part of this group, this
Yeah.
community. And that's why I say it's a movement. I would like to influence. My goal is to touch 1 million leaders across the globe. And so to help them understand the greatness that's in them
Yeah.
or support their greatness. 1 million leaders across the globe at various levels. The higher the level, the more influence
Hmm.
we can have, right? So, yeah, so that's the goal.
We are actually running a special now. You can save $20 on your membership if you join before October the 20th. I think it is fall special. Fall starts the 21st. September is only going to be 30 days. So if you want to join Lead with Soul, just go. And I think you can see some of the stuff, but you can't be a member. You can't see the members. You can see, how you do when you look up a Facebook group. If it's private, you can see a little bit of stuff that's in there, but you can't really see everything. So if you go and check it out, you'll see some of the stuff that allows you to see, but it's worth it. To me, it's worth it. And it's just been a blessing um, in my life. So we're going to let you go. We're a little over our time, but it
I'm
was a great
sorry.
conversation. No, everybody went over because you get into the conversation and you're like, it's just so good. Um, if you would like to do a one-on-one with Yvette, she does 15-minute consultations. She does a power chat. She has things set up where you could meet with her to see if it's a good fit for you. Hey Donna, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
Yeah, and she's easy to talk to. So don't be afraid. Step out and do what you got to do to make sure that you are sound in your business and in what you are trying to do. Our next guest is October. I want to give you the right date. Hold on, I got it right here on my Facebook page. October the 9th, and it will be um, Patricia Dixon. She is she's going to be talking to us about our finances. And y'all, I know this is deep, especially for African Americans and Black people. We don't like to talk about our money. We don't really know what we're doing with it, but we got to be more money conscious because the world doesn't care that you're Black or white or whatever. We still got to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? And so we need to be more responsible. So Patricia Dixon is going to be our guest on October the 9th at 8 p.m. And she's a teacher, she's a financial teacher and a coach. And that's what we need. Some of us need financial advisors in our lives. If you don't know how to do a budget and keep your budget, that's what you need, and it's okay. Some of us have businesses and we don't have an accountant. We don't do our taxes right. We don't know any of that stuff. So if you are that person, and if you know somebody who is that person, you need to be on this live on October the 9th. And you don't want to miss it because it will be beneficial to you and to your future. And we are to leave a legacy for our children and not just some story that we pass down. You want your grandchildren and your great grandchildren and all of them to be able to live better than you. They should have a better life than we had. And that's why we're here. And so we're going to talk a little bit about our finances on October the 9th. But I am just so grateful that Yvette was here tonight with us. I'm glad. I love the energy that she has. And I'm going to ask her to leave us with some nuggets. And then we're going to say goodnight.
Yeah. So the nugget is that when I think about the curse stops here, it only stops when we stop it. And
Yeah,
when
that's
I
good.
think about like Miss Patricia coming and talking about the finances, we have had that, and I want to think of it like a demonic thing, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
we don't really want to talk about those things, but if we're going to command the blessing in our life, the abundant life in our life, we've got to face our enemy. And this enemy that you see today, you shall see no more if you go after the information that will stop the curse. And there has to be a first one. So why not you? Why
Yeah.
not you be the first one to be a better leader in your family and your business and your organization, to be a better financial steward, and all the other things, mental health, take charge of mental health. I talked about resistance, right? Go push against it, resist the enemy, and it shall flee.
All right. Good night, everybody. I love you. See you October the 9th. May God's grace and peace be with you and your families. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to share the Curse Stops Here with someone. We'll let them in if you recommend them. And lead with Soul Facebook community. You definitely want to be a part if you're even considering being a business owner or a leader. Thank you and good night. Good night, Donna. Good night,
Good night.
everyone.